Hey everyone, take a look at the new nominating contract pack on eFootball. It's a Speedsters pack. As always, I'll put timestamps in the description for each player. So if you want to hear about particular players, click in the description and there'll be a link to take you straight to them. So first off, apologies for the lack of videos lately. I've just been crazy busy and struggling for time, struggling for motivation as well with the game. I'm just not really enjoying it, but just super busy. I'm going to review the legends. They've done these national team legends finally. 16 of them, so it might take me a while, but they don't expire for literally months, so no major rush, but I know a lot of people want to jump in and pick one already, so I will try and get a review done of these as soon as I possibly can, if I can get enough time to start doing other reviews for like Player of the Week and one of the other ones that I've missed lately. I will do. Like I say, I'm just struggling a bit for time. When I do get free time, the game's just not really giving me much enjoyment, to be honest. But I am going to review this nominating contract pack. So we've got Speedsters, we got 6 5-star players in here, and we've got 2 4-stars. I feel like the lack of we don't seem to have had many 4-stars lately from events. We've had a whole bunch of 5-stars. Most of my accounts have got like way more 5s than 4s. I'm just wondering, are they going to do away with the star rating completely? Are they just going to give us nominating contracts, and like every nominating contract is just a nominating contract, and maybe there won't be such a thing as a 4-star or 5-star anymore? I'm wondering if that's going to happen. Maybe they're working towards that, but yeah, just a random thought. But yeah, for this pack, we got 8 of these guys. So we're going to have a quick look at each of these, and then we'll train them up on eFootball Hub. So we'll start on the 2 4-stars. Let's start with Jackson Tchatchoua. So this is not the first version we've had of Jackson Tchatchoua. I've had a player of the season version when he was at Verona in Italy. That was slightly better than this one overall. Also have more positions. He could play right back, left back, and left midfield, and he have more skills as well. This guy's not got many skills. He's got a few decent ones there. For a right midfielder, long range shooting, pinpoint crossing. We've got track back, fighting spirit, chop turn if you like doing that. Could do with 1-2 more. Could do with a face scan as well. He does not have a face scan. Yeah, this guy's known for his pace in real life, so there's no surprise he's going to be in the pack if they do a Speedsters pack. Let's jump over to eFootball Hub and train him up, though. Where is eFootball Hub? It is right there. So, no, it's not. Where is it? Hang on. There it is. It's been a while. I'm a bit rusty. Right. So let's max him out. How does he look? He looks crap, to be perfectly honest. I don't think I'm going to talk about this guy for too long. He's obviously a speed merchant. That's what he's known for. But outside of running fast, what have we really got here? For a winger, not very good on the ball. Terrible passing. Crossing's not great. He does have pinpoint crossing, but even with pinpoint crossing, 80 lofted pass is not brilliant. Can't shoot to save his life. Yeah, he just runs really fast. Doesn't look particularly good at all to me as a winger. You could definitely take away some of his lower body there. Maybe just go down to, I don't know, 7. Maybe leave his kicking power at 80, something like that. But even if you do that, what are you going to do? A couple more in dribbling, even all the way up to 12 in dribbling. And that's how good he gets. Wow, that's not great. Sit rest and passing, make his crossing a little bit better. I mean, yeah, that doesn't look great to me. I mean, we see 3 and 4-star nominating contract wingers that are better than this. It's just not. He's not looking great. It's an interesting playing style. If you really like a box-to-box at wide midfield, then that could appeal to you. Just the fact he's got that playing style, that profile. But yeah, outside of running fast, I'm not seeing a lot of ability with this guy. If you were to train him as a fullback, we'll just see what auto allocation says. As a fullback, again, these auto allocations, I never trust the auto allocation. In 40 in lower body, is it really worth it to get him up to 98 speed, 95? No, it's not. Let's not be silly. As a fullback, let's go down. We'll just leave his stamina at the 90 mark, maybe. In fact, we'll go down to 8, see how good we can actually make him. Get attacking up to 80. He's got a decent physical contact, to be fair. Acceleration's decent. All right, he's looking a bit better as a fullback, I'll be honest. But still, is he good up on the ball for an attacking fullback? I mean, he'll be playing as an attacking fullback. One of the videos I have done for inactive playing styles is fullback. I have proven that if you play someone at fullback without an active playing style, they're basically an attacking fullback. So you're pretty much looking at an attacking fullback. Obviously, you can put a defensive construction on if you want. That would make him a defensive fullback. But is he good enough defensively for that? Probably not. So really, as an attacking fullback, good enough on the ball, borderline. I mean, the dribbling's fine. The ball control and type possession maybe is a little bit shy of what I would like. They're close enough though. The crossing still at 80, like when the auto allocated as a wide midfielder with pinpoint crossing. That for a fullback is fine, but 74 low pass is not great. You don't want to be misplacing your passes in defence. Down the right, just about everything's okay really. Would like a teeny bit more stamina. Balance is a little bit low as well. Yeah, you can get away with him as a fullback, but then skill-wise, you need to give him a bunch of defensive skills, interception, probably man marking and blocker. Is it worth the position trainers and the skill trainers to give yourself a 4-star attacking fullback? In my opinion, no. So then really you're looking at wide midfield. I mean, he could position train him for centre midfield, but can he make his passing good enough? Is he going to be good enough on the ball? Absolutely not. This, to me, like I say, I'm not going to talk too long on this guy. No matter what position you're training for, you have a bit of quality here and there. Primarily just pace, really. But honestly, I can't see any reason why I put this guy in my team. I know it's only a 4-star, but even for a 4-star, yes, he runs very fast, but what else does he do? Not a lot, really. So, yeah, this for me, even for a 4-star contract, is a bit of a dud. It's really not a particularly appealing card for me. Right. The other 4-star is Daizen Maeda from Celtic. So he, of course, has a face scan because he's from Japan. He's a roaming flank, left wing forward. I'm pretty sure this guy has had other positions in the past. They seem to remove the previous positions, at least drop them from fully proficient to semi-proficient. Sorry, I can't speak properly, to semi-proficient. So we just got left flank for now, unless you position train him. He's got unwavering form. He's got a decent selection of skills here. Long range curl is an important one for an inverted winger, which is what he is primarily. Nothing for passing those, but heading and aerial superiority, although he's not the tallest. Jumping looks okay at level 1, but yeah, he's not exactly going to be a beast in the air with the lack of height. But first time shot, long range curler. A decent selection of skills to start off with. Obviously more about shooting than passing. If you play him as a centre forward, got first time shot, long range curler, heading and aerial, could do with acrobatic finishing as well maybe. But yeah, decent selection of skills whether you play him on through the middle or on the left. But let's jump over to the hub and train up. Let's see how good this Maeda card actually is. It's definitely not the first one we've had. We've had loads of Maeda cards on the game. Yeah, if you look at his previous versions, he does this version of it doesn't stack up that well, to be honest. We've had quite a few better ones, at least slightly better. We've also had a Showtime, which is obviously miles better. But yeah, most of his previous cards can play centre forward or wide right. Possibly all of them, certainly all the ones that I've seen. So we've lost some positions compared to previous versions, and like I say, there's been a bunch of previous versions which go at least slightly better than this one. So it's not the most exciting Maeda card, to be honest. He's had a pretty mixed boost from his GP card. At level 1, the biggest boost is plus 15 on defensive engagement, which is probably not the one you'd want to be boosted the most on a Maeda card, but there we go. We've got a massive boost in engagement. There's loads of stats going up or down by a few. I've had a bit of a boost on ball control, for example, physical contact, tackling, hooray. We've lost some points on lofted pass. His pace is down a bit, but yeah, you can afford to lose a bit there. Jumping and stamina down a bit, so yeah, a bit of a mixed boost. Not the best version of him. Even for a 4-star again, I mean, it's a bit better than Tchatchoua, but still doesn't look too great to me. Yes, he's got the pace, he's got the balance, but yeah, what else he got? Attacking awareness is decent, to be fair, but he's not great on the ball. His passing absolutely honks, and his finishing's kind of okay. I guess for a 4-star, he's not too bad. Could you nick a few points? They got 1 on defending. I think we can take that away from defending. They have massively boosted his defending. Let's just nick a bit. We'll keep his pace high enough, but we'll nick a bit from there. Just take 1. I don't want to dip below 80 on attacking awareness. I'll leave that at the 80 mark. It looks kind of nice. Won't make a massive difference there, obviously. Again, though, you've got to go all the way up to 12 and dribbling. You still don't get particularly high in those stats. I think, to be honest, I'll just put the last points on finishing, get up to the 80 mark. So, yeah, he's certainly usable. You know, the pace and the bounce, like I say, well, we made him a little bit better on the ball. Got that finishing up to 80. So, yeah, with long range curler, especially coming off the left flank, get you a goal or two. Usable, but usable in what mode? Because there's no Scottish League challenge. Maybe the Champions League challenge, whatever they call it, European clubs in that one when that pops up, and obviously you can use them in divisions, maybe if you rock a Japan squad, but yeah, limited use for him without a regular league challenge. And yeah, the stuff's not amazing. He does look a bit better than Jackson Tchatchoua to me, obviously a different profile, but it's not the best version of Maeda, as you can see. You've got some good stats, but some that aren't quite so great. And you'd have to position train him to play him up front or on the right, which previous versions of him you could already do. If you do want to play him up front, have a quick look. We'll just go auto allocation to see what it says. Yeah, not amazing. Attacking where is a bit iffy. Finishing is very iffy. Definitely got the pace, the acceleration and balance are insane. A little bit of physical strength about him, but yeah, not brilliant on the ball. And like I say, the most important attributes there are the awareness, especially finishing, a bit lacking. So if you're rocking Japan squad, you don't have a Maeda card, it could be a handy one to pick up. Certainly if you're a Celtic fan, you somehow haven't picked up a Maeda card yet, then yeah, it could be a handy one for you to pick up in your Celtic squad, your Japan squad. But if you take away theme squads and any kind of emotional attachment you might have to him, even for a 4-star, it's not a bad one, but it's not a particularly good one. Maybe it's a handy one. I was going to say handy for different positions, but yeah, I momentarily forgot this Maeda card doesn't have those other positions unless you position train him. And again, like I said with Tchatchoua, is it worth using position trains on this card? In my opinion, no. So yeah, there are some qualities there, mainly the fact, you know, the pace. Obviously this is a speedsters pack, but only a 4-star card, so he is lacking a bit in 1-2 areas. Whichever position you're training for, there is a lack of modes to use him without a Scottish League challenge. So yeah, there are pros and cons, but for me more cons than pros. And even for 4-star, it might not be a bad pick, but it's not particularly exciting one. I don't see too many people being too excited to pick this guy up. Right, here we go. Next we've got Abdukodir Khusanov. I hope I've said that right. I probably haven't. So got a face scan. He's a destroyer centre back. He's an E form. Unlucky. 6'1", not the biggest centre back, but he's not short either. Some might feel he's a little bit on the short side for a centre back. Skill wise, you're going to need a few. He's got some of the most important ones, but you're going to need blocker, maybe his heading, acrobatic clearance. He's lacking those few defensive skills. He does have a decent set to start off with, though. You can get away with what he's got there, but like I say, I'll be looking to give him a few. I'll start with blocker. But yeah, let's jump over to the hub. Let's train Khusanov up. See how good he is. Not the first version of him that we've had. How good is he looking? Yeah, he's looking decent, to be fair. So I did get previous versions of him. I've had a Showtime version of him already. Obviously, that one's better. There's one in the Premier League pack that I actually got. I spanned that pack for... I don't know who I spanned that pack for. I spanned it for someone. But I got this card. That card from the Premier League pack. That Premier League one has got a bit less acceleration and a bit less balance. But this one's got... the Premier League one's got much better heading. Heading 70. It's got terrible heading on this version. The one in the Premier League pack had way more on his heading. The passing is better on that Premier League pack version as well. So slightly different profile in terms of the stats to the Premier League pack one, but not a massive difference in overall ability. Really pretty similar. He's had a pretty mixed boost again from his GP card. All these cards in this pack have had a pretty mixed boost from the GP cards. Plus 10 on acceleration, so that's why we got more acceleration on this one than the Premier League one. Plus 10 acceleration from his GP card at level 1. He's had a decent boost to his defending stats, to be fair, and some of his athletic ones are, except for jumping, which is down 4, so we've lost a few points off jumping. They keep doing that with centre-backs the last couple of months or so. Lost a couple of points off lofted pass as well. We lost a few points off finishing. That's a shame. But yeah, on the whole, though, he does it decent. Again, auto allocation going to 13 on defending. That increase from 12 to 13 costs 4 points, and it's not worth it, in my opinion. I would definitely look to boost his physical contact a bit instead. That leaves us 1 shy of 90. You could nick another one off defending, to be honest, and do it that way. 1 point left. Stick it where you want. Goalie 1. Why not? Okay, it's jumping up a bit. Not going to make a massive difference, but you can do it with a little bit more physical contact. You can spare it from defensives easily. But yeah, he's strong defensively. He's okay physically, even before he nudged the physical contact up a little bit like I just did there. But he's got a bit of pace as well. Again, this is a speedsters pack, so of course he's got some pace. Is there an issue aerially? I think that's probably the one thing. If you're looking at any weakness with this guy, I think that's the one. He does have aerial superiority, but he's not got the heading skill, and his heading attribute is pretty terrible for a centre-back. So aerially, there's a slight concern there. Not the tallest for a centre-back. So yeah, that's the one area really. But apart from that, defensively, yep. Physically, yep. Pace, definitely. Loads of qualities with this Khusanov card, to be honest. If I didn't have the one from the Premier League pack, I'd be very tempted to get this guy. I probably would get this guy, to be honest, but I've got the one from the Premier League pack, so I don't really need it. Not a lot of difference overall. But if you don't have the Premier League pack one, this looks like a solid card. Like I say, you do need 1 or 2 skills. And there's maybe a slight concern over his aerial ability. Slight lack of height. What's the vertical reach saying? 273. So it's not going to be terrible in the air, but it's not great jumping height. If your opponent's spamming crosses with a big striker like Collar, someone like that, you will have issues with this guy. He does need 1 or 2 skills. But apart from that, though, like I say, he's obviously got pace. Defense really strong. You can get his physical strength to a good level. It's already decent enough. It's a solid centre-back for the English League Challenge. Could be a pretty handy one to pick up. Next we got Adeyemi from Dortmund. We've had a couple of versions of him recently. Got a face scan, got some pretty cool hair. Prolific winger, right wing forward. Inconsistent form and no league challenge. He does get live update now because Dortmund are a partner club, but no league challenge. Again, like with Maeda, when that European clubs one, which is basically a Champions League event, when that one pops up, you can use Dortmund players in that one as long as they're still in the competition. So yeah, some use for this guy, but limited again by the fact there's no regular ongoing kind of league challenge like the English, Italian, Spanish ones. Skill-wise, he's got a bunch of skills, got some good ones. I think for a left footer who's probably going to play on the right for most people, Loïs Openda would be a good one to give him. Outside of that, we've got some decent ones there. He got super sub as well. Always good to have a nice attacking super sub. But yeah, I think the first thing I'd look to put on Adeyemi would be Loïs Openda. But let's go train him up though. Let's get straight over to the hub. Where is Mr. Adeyemi? There he is. And there he is, fully boosted. And yeah, he does look fairly tidy. Another one who can't pass to save his life though, so that's going to be a concern. So yeah, I've had 1-2 versions of Adeyemi recently. I've had a Player of the Week one. That was a attacking mid-hole player, I think. Champions League pack. Very different profile. Arguably a bit better overall if you look at the overall numbers, but a very different profile. The stats shuffled around a bit. Depends what you're looking for. If you look at the one in the Dortmund pack, when Dortmund became a partner club recently, they did a highlight card in that pack. Overall, looks about the same rating. Looks like pretty similar overall. But if you really drill down into the stats, I would say this one looks slightly better to me, but not massive difference. So if you got that one, I don't think you really need this one, but this does look slightly better if anything. And again, a mixed boost from his GP card at level 1, plus 16 on tight possession. They've given him a massive boost for his tight possession. They put 15 points from his physical contact. Apart from that, nice boost on his ball control, low pass, which is still bad, kicking power. We lost a few points off his speed and acceleration, but I think it's fair to say we can afford to lose some points there. We've lost 5 points off jumping, have we? That still looks decent, interesting. And we've lost 5 points off defensive engagement. I assume these stats are right. They seem a bit random on some of these cards, but yeah, that's where we are. So obviously what you got with Adeyemi, as you probably expect, crazy pace, good on the ball, good balance. Just a little bit lacking with the passing, but the end product in terms of the shootings, right? We've got 1 point from defending there. We only need 1 more point to nudge his finishing up to 80, which will make pretty much 0 difference, but let's do it anyway. Bang, there you go. Happy days. Could you beef that passing up if you're really concerned about it? Yes, you could. You could nick a bit up on the ball attributes. Couldn't. I mean, if you're really, I'll do a build here just if you're really concerned about the passing. See how high you can get it. Okay, so you can get it to a pretty respectable level, to be fair. Is it worth doing that? For some people, yes. For some, no. I think that will make quite a difference, to be honest. And certainly if you gave him one-touch pass and through passing, I think his passing would be perfectly okay for a winger. Lofted pass, not so much. He's not got pinpoint crossing either, so don't start putting crosses in with this guy because they're not going to be particularly good. But yeah, even if you do that and boost his passing significantly, still good on the ball, still quick, still good balance. It's pretty tight, to be honest. I think for most people who are playing right wing as a left footer, cutting inside, inverted winger, like I say, you could do a long edge curler if you're going to play him that way. Could definitely do with some passing skills to improve his passing. Could you play him as a centre forward? Let's find out. Let's just auto allocate. Feeling lazy. I don't know. The awareness and finishing fully boosted mid-80s. That's not what I'm looking for on a centre forward. On the ball though, decent. Pace, insane. Balance, insane. So yeah, some really nice qualities there. Just the awareness and finishing high enough for you? For me, they're iffy. Could you get them any higher? Probably. I mean, the pace is crazy. Yeah, you can get his finishing up to 88. It's not really efficient going past 12, so I'll just leave that there and maybe just make him a bit better on the ball. Yeah. Yeah, he could do a job as a striker. I don't think he looks too amazing. Like I say, awareness and finishing are very important. Finishing, you can get to a respectable level. Awareness maybe is not so much. So yeah, could do a job as a striker, but I'm not sure I fancy him in that position. But yeah, certainly wide right. I don't think wide left would be too great without the ability to cross the ball as a left footer. He's not 2-footed either. Does he get outside curler? No. Okay, so you might want to give him outside curler as well. That's another skill he could do with. But yeah, I think he's primarily best as a right winger. I'll leave him on auto allocation there. Whether you leave him like that, just make him rapid as hell, great on the ball, and just try to look to turn inside onto his left foot and score goals, or whether you do what I did, scrimp a few points from elsewhere and make his passing better, which you can do. I'll give him the passing scores either way. So yeah, in terms of skills, long range curler, outside curler, one touch, through passing, probably those would be the 4 I give him. But he's certainly got some good ability. This one, there is a lack of use for him, like I say, without any ongoing league challenge for clubs outside of the English, Italian, or Spanish leagues. Obviously, you've got Turkey and Brazil if you get to do those in Japan and stuff. But yeah, slight lack of modes you can use him in. Inconsistent form as well. But there are some qualities there. If you like a pacey inverted winger, then yeah, there's plenty of reasons why people might be keen to get this guy. He's going to be lovely on the ball. Can do some real damage. Maybe he needs 1-2 skills, but yeah, it's a pretty tidy looking version of Adeyemi out, and I can see a fair few people plumping for him and using one of their contracts on him. Right, who's next? Frimpong from Liverpool. So Frimpong has a face scan. He is a fullback finisher, right back. He can play as a right winger as well. Another one with inconsistent form, but again, he does get live update, and you can use this card in the English League Challenge. A bunch of skill moves, acrobatic finishing, first time shot, not the most important ones on a fullback, but I'll take them, I guess. Pinpoint crossing. Defensively, all you got is interception. That is an important one, to be fair. It's probably the first one I'd look to put on a fullback, but you could do with 1 or 2 more. He's not going to be the strongest physically, so I'd look to give him fighting spirit. I'll give him man marking and blocker as well. You could do with maybe some passing skills as well. As a fullback finisher, I always say I don't like that playing style personally. It's all personal preference. You might like it. Depends. You know, it's just down to you. For me personally, I don't like that a fullback finisher because they don't just get forward a lot. They drift inside. They'll pop up in the middle of the park. They'll even pop up in and around the penalty area. I don't want my fullbacks doing that. But if you do like them doing that, and if you're going to use this guy and he's going to be doing that for you, then passing is going to be important if he's in the middle of the pitch. So I'll consider giving some passing skills. But let's just see how good his passing actually is when you train him up. Let's get him trained up on the hub. And as you'll see, his passing is okay, so it's not brilliant. 76 low pass, even for fullbacks, not brilliant. So yeah, we'll shuffle some points around in a second, but yeah, passing skills might be good as well as some defensive skills. One thing he's not lacking, again, it is the Speedsters pack, but that is some absolutely bonkers pace. He's got 99 speed, 96 acceleration, 97 stamina. You know where I'm going to be nicking some points from. Why have they gone to 13 on up? That one increase, they get down to the last 4 points. They're looking around thinking, where do we really need to put some points? Yeah, we could do with some more speed and low. But wait a minute, you can't even get more speed. You're already maxed out on speed. What is this? Fix your algorithm, Konami. Honestly, 4 points left, I think, in the one area that they want to boost them even more. Speed, kicking power, and stamina. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Now we're going to take some points away from there. Let's go right down to, even if you go down to 8 on nobody, you've still got crazy speed and more than enough stamina. It could go lower than that, but I'm going to increase passing first. Get his low pass to 80. His lofty pass is still bad, actually. Even with pinpoint crossing, his crossing is not going to be great. So yes, he's going to be drifting inside quite a bit, but he will be out wide as well, a fair amount. So his crossing is going to be a little bit disappointing. On the ball, he's very decent for a fullback. And again, with him drifting inside into the middle of the pitch, that will help. Defensive awareness sucks, but the rest of his defensive attributes are fine. Down the right, he's alright. Could maybe do with a bit more physical contact, but it could be worse. I was expecting it to be lower. Balance is insane. Stamina's great. Acceleration's great. I mean, you can nick some points with dexterity as well, actually, if you wanted to. Got loads. I mean, I already had some points left to play with there. I forgot about that. Hang on. Let's just nick some from dexterity. And then what are we going to do? Make him better at defending. And dribbling? Yes. Yeah, he's definitely got some qualities for Frimpong. So the defensive awareness is going to be a concern. Obviously, we've beefed it up a bit there. It's looking okay, certainly for a fullback finisher. If you like a fullback finisher, then I don't think you're going to be too desperate to get his defensive attributes too high. It's a very attacking play style for fullback, but yeah, you can certainly make him very nice on the ball. You can get that passing boosted up a bit, defensive boosted up a bit. He's decent enough defensively. Still got great pace. Looking pretty nice, actually. If you like that playing style, it looks very nice. It's just going to be a question of, like I say, whether you like that playing style and whether you're prepared to put a few skills on, because you could definitely do with a few skills. If you do give him the skills and you like the playing style, it looks pretty nice as a right back. You can build him how you want, or obviously the auto allocation might work for you if you just want crazy pace. You don't care about the rest, but if you shuffle some points around there, bounce them out a bit, that looks pretty decent to me. Just a shame you can't cross it better. You could maybe say the defensive awareness and physical contact are lacking a little bit, but it looks pretty tidy. Before I forget to compare to other versions, we've had a few Player of the Week versus Frimpong. None of them are as good as this. He's pretty similar overall to most of his highlight cards, to be honest, but there's a couple of previous highlight cards of Frimpong that actually look slightly better than this one. So if you've got a previous version, you might have a better one than this one, but not a massive difference really. It's a pretty solid looking version of Frimpong. Look at the way he's boosted from his GP card. Again, they've all had a pretty mixed boost from their GP card. The biggest boost is on his kicking power. Looks like that's up by 14 at level 1 compared to his GP card. Nice boosters on the ball attributes, and they have boosted his physical contact. I was right about that. Defensive engagement is a nice boost as well. Nothing on his pace, but he doesn't need it. So yeah, it's a pretty tight looking card, to be honest. Just like I say, you're going to need to give 1 or 2 skills to play at fullback, and that you're going to have to be mindful of that playing style. If you don't like a fullback finisher, obviously you won't be too keen on this guy. But if that playing style does work for you, look at all the stats. Certainly, if you give him 1 or 2 skills, it looks pretty tidy. Can be pretty tidy card this. Looking at other positions, I don't think he's going to make much of a sneaky centre back at what is he, 5'6" or 5'7", something like that. No, you're not going to make this guy centre back, obviously. What about a right winger though? I'll start with auto allocation. Okay, interesting. It's going to be an interesting one. I think interesting is the word because as a right footer on the right wing, I think most people will be looking initially to what he's going to be like at crossing the ball. And even with his passing increased all the way to 8 there, 75 lofted pass, 70 goal. This guy is not going to have a good cross on me. Yes, he's got the pinpoint crossing skill, but that doesn't magically make you good at crossing. It just increases certain attributes. And those attributes need increasing a lot more. So, yeah, his crossing's not be great. So it's going to be a question of what you want out of a right winger. He won't have an active playing style there. And he's not great at crossing. So 1 or 2 possible concerns there. But certainly when you get him on the ball, with auto allocation at least, insane pace, going to be lovely on the ball. Crazy balance as well. He's got a pretty low centre of gravity. It's clearly going to be the main strength with Frimpong. He's going to be rapid. He's going to feel really neat when you get him on the ball. To be honest, that might be what you want to focus on if you wanted to nick a few points from elsewhere, make him even better on the ball. Probably just do that, to be honest. I mean, the attacking awareness could do with being a bit higher actually, but it's a question of where you get the points from. Yeah, I'd personally be inclined to do that. I think that's a pretty nice thing to build if you're going to focus on just getting on the ball and dribbling, to be honest. But like I say, it just depends on what you want from him. If being rapid, being nice on the ball is what you want from a winger, a little pacey, nimble winger, could be a really fun one, but maybe you won't like the lack of an active playing style. Maybe you want a right-footed right winger to be able to cross the ball, which most people probably would. So there are some concerns with him as a winger, but certainly you can get some real value out of him as a winger. He's got some decent skills there. Obviously, crossing is not going to make too much difference. First time shot and acrobatic finishing if he gets into the area. And as I mentioned at the start, a few skills on the ball there, soul control and some skill moves. Just could do with, I think, a couple of passing skills, really. So yeah, it is a card that whether you play him as a winger or a fullback, he's not going to be for everyone, whether it's the playing style, whether it's the fact he's not great at crossing. There's 1 or 2 concerns with this guy, whichever way you use him, but there will certainly be some people who really like this guy. If you like a fullback finisher as a right back, could be a really neat one. And if you're not too bothered about the inability to cross the ball, and you just think he's going to be really lovely on the ball with his pace, very nimble, the underball attributes and so on, he looks like he's going to feel really nice on the ball. So for some people, it could be a fantastic winger, could be a fantastic fullback as well, but just not for everyone because he's not quite got the profile for everyone. It's an interesting one, this one, but if he does work for you, then it could be a really nice one to pick up. So who we got next? We got Valverde. So Federico Valverde from Real Madrid. He has a face scan, of course. He's a box-to-box centre midfielder, which is what he normally is. He is also a right back. He's not always had that as a position. Not many of his previous highlights and special cards have had that. So if you've got a good Valverde card, you might not have one that can play right back. That's one thing this card might have over any version you've got already. I've got an old version. I think I've got I've got a Champions League Player of the Week version of Valverde that might be from the very first Champions League Player of the Week pack, or certainly one of the first ones. He's a right wing forward. He does not have right back. But yeah, this one's got right back. He can be a right winger. He can be a centre midfielder. You can position train as well. Defensive bit, attack mid, left mid. He's got unwavering form. And skill-wise, he's got some good ones. I don't think he's always had through passing. I might be wrong on that. But he's got through passing this time. One touch and through. He's got interception, fighting spirit. He's got the important ones. He's got a bunch of shooting skills, of course. He doesn't really need a great deal. Could he do with outside curler? Maybe, yeah. But yeah, he's got most of the important ones you'd want from him. Probably depends what position you use him in, because if you play him as a right back, you might want 1 or 2 more defensive skills. Man marking, blocker, I think I'd look to put on him. But let's jump over to the hub and train him up and see how good he is in each of his positions. So that is not him. That is Van der Ven. Where is it? There he is, Valverde. Right, so all maxed out, all boosted up. Pretty tight looking on the whole. Not looking too great defensively. It's going to depend how you want to use him. But yeah, we've had a lot of Valverde cards up to this point. We've had a bunch of Player of the Week versions. He's around about the same level as most of his Player of the Week cards, to be honest. Not a massive difference, really. Obviously, the Player of the Week cards, they're kind of, the stats get shuffled around, sometimes different player styles. I think have we had a whole player version, possibly? The one I got is a prolific winger, right winger. And there's been a right back version as well, I think, recently. But yeah, either the right back or centre mid. He's around about the same level as most of his Player of the Week cards, really. I've had a Showtime version that's obviously better than this. But a few highlights are slightly better than this as well, to be honest. So it's not the best Valverde card we've had. And again, he's had a mixed boost from his GP card, like all these cards in this pack. Balance and aggression have had the biggest boost. It looks like we've lost 1 point of ball control. What is the point of that? No pun intended. We've lost a point off low pass as well. Again, why bother? Lost 2 points off heading. Oh no, where's heading? There's heading. So it's heading down from, it would have been 49, but it's now only 47. Oh, that's the card ruined for me. We've lost 2 points off tackling. Okay, jokes aside, that sucks. Because that's one of the stats I was looking at with it on this card. But as soon as I maxed him out and boosted him up, I looked down the left and thinking, okay, he's not got great attacking awareness, but he's decent on the ball, good passing. And then I looked down the middle, tackling, On a centre mid box to box, you want better tackling than that. They've actually taken a couple of points off his tackling, according to eFootball Hub. That's concerning to me. That's a bit of a shame. We'll see if we can boost that a little bit. Down the right, great pace for centre mid, great kicking power, obviously. So if you get any shots away with this guy, he's going to have some welly behind his shots, albeit his finishing stats not amazing. But he does have those shooting skills. He's got a reasonable amount of physical strength, would like a little bit more. Balance is not great, so really in dexterity we're lacking a bit. We're only up to 4 in dexterity. We'll see if we can boost that a bit. But we need to boost the defending as well. So yeah, slightly concerned about how good this card really is going to be if I want to try and train him up to be the way I want him to be. So you can nick one of passing. I wouldn't want to go too low on passing. But to be honest, if you need to boost the Fury, see, the trouble is I don't want to lose any stamina. So that's staying where it is. We've not got any points used on aerial. We need to boost defending. And we need to boost dexterity. I don't really want to lose anything on the ball attributes. So passing is all we've really got to reduce. And I don't really want to go lower than 90 on low pass. So yeah, this isn't looking too great of a Valverde card to me. Let's just nick a couple of low pass though, off passing. That can get us up to 80 tackling. 3 left, so I can get 1 higher on dexterity. How exciting. 1 point left, stick it on aerial. Yeah, I think that's probably all I would do really. It's obviously a good card. I mean, any Valverde card's a good card. He's a good all-rounder in the middle of the pitch. But yeah, the fact that you can't quite get everything where you want it to be. You know, the attacking ways and balance for me are a bit disappointing. I do like those to be a bit higher on a centre midfielder. I like my box-to-boxes to have a bit of everything. He's not great at tackling. You've had to nudge that up a little bit. He could be worse, certainly. But yeah, you look at him and you think, okay, what's he great at? He's kind of decent on the ball. We'd nudge the passing down a bit. It's still okay, but it's not amazing. Not great on the whole defensively. Yes, you've got great engagement and aggression, but again, the tackling for me is a bit. I mean, 80's pretty much the mark for me. As long as you've got one other midfielder who's defensively strong, like a destroyer or anchorman type, you can get away with that on a box-to-box centre mid. But yeah, you've had to put a few points onto that. Down the right, yes, you got the pace there, but the balance is iffy. Physical contact's kind of okay there, but yeah, it's not the most exciting Valverde card to be honest to me. It doesn't look that exciting. Definitely a solid one, definitely a usable one. Like I say, any Valverde card's a good midfield card, but it's not a great one. It's good but not great for me. It doesn't really excite me. What happens if you make him a defensive mid? I mean, for a defensive mid, you've lost a bit from all those technicals down the left, and attacking is still not amazing. I don't see this guy as a defensive mid. An attacking mid, if you lost all the defending and stuff, let's just see. Get that dexterity up to 8. Can you make him an attacking mid? Kinda ish. I mean, it's not the most exciting attacking mid. Yeah, I don't know if I fancy that. As a winger, you could play him wide left. You'd be position training for left midfield, would be a box-to-box left midfielder. You've got long range curl, long range shooting, dipping and rising shots, acrobatic finishing. You've got some shooting skills there. If you don't worry so much about the passing, you play him as a left winger, try and get some shots away, then you can get that finishing up to 80. Making a little bit nicer on the ball there. Yeah, you can make him a decent left winger, but again, is anyone going to do that? I don't know. Is it worth the position trainers? It would be decent there, but yeah, I don't think that's what people want to use Valverde for. Right winger, cross span Valverde. Could do that. Not got a lot of curl on his crosses. You can get his lofted pass to 87 though. Some pace, nice on the ball. If you gave him pinpoint crossing, yeah, he could be a decent right winger to be fair. It could be decent, but again, is that what you want to use Valverde for? I don't see many people doing that really. But you do have the option. But we do have that one more position right back. Let's see. Let's just go auto allocation. See how many millions of points it puts on low body. Only up to 12 on low body this time, okay. But it's still too many. Okay, so he's looking decent as a right back. This is a good Valverde card as a right back. Maybe this is similar to that Mateus Nunes card that was in the Premier League pack that I spanned recently, which is a very nice right back. So you can nick some points off low body there. Let's just see. I mean, you don't really need to be honest. He's pretty decent everywhere else. Let's just do. Let's just do. I nick one for passing there. One more on defending. Yeah, I mean, you can shuffle the points around a bit this way and that way, but that to me looks pretty tidy. I think that's a very nice looking right back. You've got the pace. You've got a bit of physical strength. The balance isn't as bad as it was as a centre mid. Still not brilliant, but it could be worse. Decent stamina there. Defensively, he's fine. Yeah, you won't have an active playing style. Again, I did that video a while back if you want to check it out, but to save you the time. If you play someone at right back without an active playing style, they're an attacking fullback. That's their playing style basically if they don't have an active playing style. So it'll be an attacking right back, and yeah, he looks like a decent one, decent on the ball, low enough to pass all right. You might want to give him pinpoint crossing, as I mentioned at the start. You might want to give him man marking block as well, beef him up defensively, but some decent defensive stats there. 2 very nice, 2 okay, and everything down the right's looking pretty sound. Just maybe there's a bit more balance needed, but yeah, as a right back, looks very usable in general, especially for the Spanish League change. Could be an option for you for that. But for me personally, I've got Belletti for my Spanish League squad. And like I say, I'll just leave him on auto allocation centre mid. He doesn't really excite me as a centre mid. To be honest, the version I've got of Valverde, it's a very old one, but I don't see this one being much of an upgrade, to be honest. I don't see any real need to get this one. I don't need a right back. Again, I'm not saying this isn't a great card. It's a Valverde card, so of course it's good, but it's just not that exciting. Good in some ways, but whichever ways he's good, he's not going to be great in other ways. You can't quite make him good in every way you want it to, in my opinion. So, yeah, is it a bad card? Of course not. It's a Valverde card, so it's a good one. But yeah, I just don't think it's that exciting. Obviously, it's a free one, so they're not going to make it too good. That kind of stands to reason. But yeah, it's just not the most exciting Valverde card. But if you don't have a Valverde card, he's versatile, got a few positions you can use him in. He can still be a good midfielder for you, but I think certainly right back for me is the position he looks the most interesting in. And that versatility, especially for the Spanish League challenge, could really appeal. So yeah, if you've got a good Valverde card, you may well decide that you don't really need this one. But if you don't have a Valverde card, it does look very decent, versatile, a few ways you can use him. Certainly got qualities. So yeah, for a lot of people, it could be a very handy card to pick up. Right, who is next? Micky van der Ven, aka Diego Maradona. What a goal he scored against Copenhagen. Crazy goal. So he's got a face scan. He's a build-up centre-back. Should be an extra front man, surely. Only standard form. He's on E form from the weekend, so he obviously played a lot better in Europe. Skill-wise, this is the one negative you always get with Van der Ven. He needs 1 or 2 skills. He's got some of the most important ones, but he really needs interception. It's a crucial skill for a centre-back. So he needs interception, and then beyond that, you could do with acrobatic clearance. You could probably do with heading as well. What's the heading attribute like? It's horrible. Okay, so you can do with heading as well. We'll see how good that is when he's fully trained up, actually. But yeah, heading, acrobatic clearance, and definitely interception. Some skills are needed on this Van der Ven card, as they often are. But let's train him up. Let's see how good he is. He is pretty decent. Okay, certainly down the middle. Defensively, he's a beast. You know he's got the pace, obviously. Physical contact's decent. Jumping's not amazing, but he's 6'4", about 6'4". So yeah, jumping like mid 270s, that's okay. It's not amazing, but he's not gonna be bad in the air. He just won't be amazing. He won't be able to dominate against big strikers. But yeah, some people might feel that jumping stat's a bit low, but it's not about the stat. Obviously, it's always that jumping height. That's the vertical reach. So he's okay in the air. Obviously, the pace good defensively. Yeah, he's not amazing on the ball. That's a bit harsh, certainly when you consider the goal he scored the other day. I think he's proven up to this point that he deserves better stats on the ball, to be fair. They've done him a bit dirty there. But yeah, on the whole, he got a pretty tidy centre-back. That heading attribute did turn out to be, you know, maybe not quite so disastrous as it looked at level 1, but it's still a bit lacking there. So I would give him that heading skill. But yeah, on the whole, certainly looking pretty decent. And we've had quite a few Van der Ven cards up to this point. This one compares pretty well to his Player of the Week cards, to be honest. I know that recent one with the booster ends up being a little bit better overall, but outside of that, this stacks up pretty well compared to his previous Player of the Week cards. He's had a couple of Showtime cards, of course, those are better than this one. The other trainable versions we've had, the other highlight cards of Van der Ven, this one compares pretty well, to be honest. It's not quite the best, but it's close enough. It's certainly up there. It's a good Van der Ven card. Again, he's had a mixed boost from his GP card at level 1. They boosted his jumping quite a bit. They put 13 on jumping. That's very interesting. He's not always got particularly good jumping, Van der Ven. So, like I say, he's still not amazing in the air, but a lot better than he can be. Big boost in his jumping. They put 10 on his balance as well. Lost a little bit of speed, but gained a bunch of points in acceleration. Why would they take away 2 speed on a card in a Speedsters pack? They've done that on Frimpong as well, haven't they? But anyway, still got enough speed, I guess. What else they done? Lost a bit on from heading. Heading's been nerfed a bit, of course. Why would they not do that? Lost a couple of points off lofted pass. Who cares? But yeah, that's about it really. So another very mixed boost from his GP card, but it's a good one. Again, auto allocation is completely stupid. We'll immediately take 1 from there. Put that straight on aerial. That's a better build. Thank you very much, Konami. 1 point left. Where's that going? It's going on goalkeeper 1, obviously. Would I do much more than that? Yes. You don't have to. Could you get speed to 90s, acceleration to 80? Probably. Let's have a look. Need a couple of points from somewhere. damn. We can spare 1 from goalie 1, but 1 point away from getting acceleration to 80. I know a lot of people don't mind the acceleration being, the physical contact, sorry, being a bit lower. If that applies to you, you could do that. When he gets balanced to 70, amazing. That immediately makes him brilliant. Yeah. If you really want the pace and the defending, you're not too bothered about the physical and aerial side of things, that could well be a good build for you. He's going to be very quick, defending, great at defending. Everything else, you know, with the physical and aerial, you probably say is a little bit lower than you might want it to be. But if you can live with that, like I say, if your focus is elsewhere, that could be a good build for you. If you do want that bit more physical strength and aerial strength, that would apply to me. So I would just scrimp a bit from his pace there. I think he's quick enough as he is. I think the pace is fine. And I would go up to probably 11 on aerial and just put the last one on goalkeeper 1, to be honest. Gets that jumping height up to 278. Very physically strong, still great defensively. I think I'd do that personally. That'd be the build I'd go for. But yeah, either way, he's rapid, good defender. Looks like a good Van der Ven card. You can't play him as a left back, but as a left back, those stats down the left look horrible to me. Let's just go auto allocation first, see what it says. Yeah, it says he's going to be horrible on the ball. So depends what kind of left back you want. I know a lot of people like playing a centre back as a full back. If that's what you want to do, it's your life. You can do what you want. It's not what I would ever do, but if you do want to do that, that's the only way you can really get away with him as a fullback, because as a proper attacking fullback or a proper fullback at all, you would need him to be a lot better on the ball. But certainly defensively, he's going to be a beast as a fullback. He's got the speed, even if the acceleration is a bit low. Got physical strength, stamina's okay. So yeah, if you want to use him as a kind of auxiliary centre back in the fullback position, could be handy. Could definitely do a job for you. But I think for the vast majority of people, you've got a centre back here. It's a quick one. Whatever way you build him, defensively he's very strong. He's physically okay. Aerially, you could say he's a little bit lacking, but I think he's okay on the whole. He's just not going to be a beast in the air, that's all. But yeah, it's a good Van der Ven card. There have been quite a few by now. That, like I say, you might have one already that's as good as this. I've got the one from a Premier League pack a while back, and there's not a lot of difference really. I'm going to stick with that one, but there are 1 or 2 better ones. You might feel you don't need this one, but if you don't have one as good as this, or if you don't have a Van der Ven card at all, he's a pacey build-up centre-back. You can use him in the English League Challenge. Plenty to be said for him. Just does need a few skills, especially interception. So could do with a few skills, but yeah, I think for a lot of people this could be a very, very handy centre-back card to pick up, especially for the English League Challenge, but just in general as well. And last but not least, we've got Loïs Openda, who plays for Juventus now. So got a face scan, a goal poacher centre forward, standard form. He's getting live updates. He's an Italian league card. You can use him in the Italian league challenge. Skill wise, decent such as skills. You could do with a few more. You could do with maybe his long range curler. Maybe his, what else could he do with? Is he 2-footed? Not particularly. You could do with maybe his outside curler. He's a super sub. Always nice to have an attacking super sub. So yeah, you got a few decent skills there. Could maybe do with 1 or 2 more. He's not really desperately lacking any. I think some people would say you could really do with long range curler. I would. If you use assisted shooting, of course. But yeah, apart from that, decent such as skills there, and he's a super sub. But let's see how good he is. Let's train him up. So how good is he? Well, he's quick. Obviously, this is the Speedsters pack. So yeah, where are we lacking? Not really. Just the finishing could do a thing a bit higher. Apart from that, they're looking pretty decent. For a pacey goal poacher, that physical strength is decent. 80 physical contact. They've only put 4 points on there to get to the 80 mark. That's decent, and he's already got really good balance. So, yeah, rapid acceleration's absolutely insane. Attacking wear is pretty much on the money. On the ball, it's fine for a goal poacher. Passing sucks. Be careful with the passing. But yeah, that finishing is the one thing we want to get a little bit higher, to be honest. Can we do that? Yes, quite easily, I think. I think for me personally, I would. How many points do we need? 6 points. You get 1 off dribbling. Take that 1 from passing, because his passing is going to be terrible no matter what. Just take a couple off lower body. Bang. Get his finishing up to the 90 mark. It's not going to magically make him amazing at shooting, but it's pretty much the mark I aim for. I don't know if there's any exact thresholds that are going to make a massive difference, but I aim for about 90 on finishing. For me, that looks like a very nice goal poacher centre forward, to be honest. Not the first version we've had of Openda. I've had a couple of Player of the Week versions of him, quite old now. This is comfortably better than both of those. I only had a few highlight versions of Openda. There's one from a Belgian pack that's slightly better than this one. Not much in it though. So yeah, it's a pretty good looking version of Openda. And again, pretty mixed boost from his GP card. The biggest boost on tight possession, 13 on tight possession, very nice. We've lost 3 points off heading and 4 points off jumping. They really don't want players to be good in the air, do they? They keep doing that. And again, obviously it's a Speedsters pack, so they've reduced his speed by 2 and reduced his acceleration by 1. Of course, why wouldn't they? But yeah, who cares? He's rapid as hell, so it doesn't matter. This looks like a tidy goal poacher to me, to be honest. For the Italian League Challenge especially, it could be a really nice option. Depends who you got. If it weren't for the fact that I've got a bunch of legend strikers for my Italian League squad, I would definitely pick this guy up. He'd be a definite pick for me. I think it's very tidy, really tidy card as a goal poacher. If you're free to play, if you don't have too many great options up front in your Italian League squad, I think this could be a very decent one. Like I say, he's got everything he needs there. The awareness and finishing, we've had to nudge the finishing up a little bit, or I have anyways. The pace is good though. The acceleration is insane. He's got a little bit of kicking power. Maybe that's one thing we could do with being a little bit higher. But like I say though, a bit of physical strength, and he's got good balance as well. So there's a lot to be said for this card. Maybe he could do with 1 or 2 skills. But I think on the whole, this is as a pacey goal poacher is a pretty nice card. Could you use him as a left foot? I seem to remember I trained up and I did a review of an Openda card at some point. I made him a left winger and he was decent. Let's see if we can do it on this one. Take that finishing down. Let's leave 4 on shooting. I don't need quite as much dexterity on the wing. He's still got crazy acceleration there. We want to get his on the ball attributes up. Ooh, hello. I've got 8 points left. I'm going to leave the 4 points in aerial, actually. It's a nice little bonus. Let's just accept the fact that he can't pass the ball to save his life. Where that 8 points going to go? You could get his shooting up to 87. Or you could give him more speed. There's a few things you could do. Try and get the balance back up to... get the balance up to 90 if you really wanted to. There's a few ways you could play it. But he could be decent. Is it worth position training him? I don't know. I don't think many people would want to use the position trains to make a Openda a left wing forward, but if you did want to do that, it's certainly the pace on the ball, the attacking awareness, finishing decent enough. Yeah, he could be pretty handy left wing. Just don't pass the ball. But if you can get him into the box into shooting positions, could be pretty handy left wing. But I think for most people, it'll just be a centre forward. I'll leave him back in auto allocation. Whether you do what I do and you get that finishing up to that 90 mark, it's not going to make a massive difference. The finishing's already a reasonable level, even if it's not amazing. But certainly elsewhere, the awareness, crazy pace, that balance and physical contact. As a goal poacher, this guy is very handy. So yeah, it depends what options you got. Like I say, if you're like me, you might have a few legend strikers for your Italian League squad, in which case I just don't think I'd ever use him. But if it wasn't for that, if I didn't have those options, and if you don't have those options up front for the Italian League Challenge, or just in general, I think it looks like a very handy goal poacher. Pacey, good awareness, finishing, got a very decent set of skills to start with, and he's a super sub as well. Always nice to have an attacking super sub. So yeah, I think that's a very, very tidy looking goal poacher centre forward. That I think could be a pretty nice addition for a lot of people's squads. So there's your Speedsters Nominating Contract back. I don't think much of those 4 stars. Maeda doesn't look too exciting to me. I think it's a bit better than Tchatchoua. I think Tchatchoua looks like it's not very good, to be honest. Maeda doesn't look too great either. I think probably Maeda's going to prove a bit more popular. But yeah, for a 4-star, yeah, not too exciting to me either of those guys. But I think the 5 stars, they all look decent, to be honest. I don't think I'd really pick any 1 or 2 of those out to say they're better than the other ones. I think with Van der Ven, Khusanov, you've got 2 centre-backs for the English League Challenge. They look very solid. They're like good, solid centre-backs. You do need to give a few skills to both of them, though, especially interception on Van der Ven. Valverde doesn't look like the most exciting Valverde card to me, but he's still a good one. It's a Valverde card, and he looks like a very tidy right-back as well. So versatile, it's Valverde. I see a lot of people picking that card up. Adeyemi, no league challenge for him. No regular kind of orthodox league challenge at least, but looks like it could be a pretty tidy one. Certainly can see a fair few people picking him up and getting some joy out of him. Frimpong, whether he's a winger or a fullback, he's not going to quite have the profile in terms of the stats, the playing style, and all the rest. I don't think it's all going to quite come together for that many people. If it does all work for you, either as a winger or a fullback, he could well be a very, very nice card to pick up for some people. And then Openda, we just looked at there, just like a tidy, pacey goal poacher. Nothing incredible, but certainly could be a very decent one, I think, for a fair few people to pick up, at least for their Italian league squads. So yeah, some decent cards in there. I think compared to the last one, that new Italian partner clubs, whatever it was called, this is definitely a better pack than that one. You could argue maybe 1 or 2 cards aren't the most exciting choices, just because we've had a fair few Van der Ven cards, we've had a fair few Valverdes, but I don't think too many people are going to complain about that, to be honest. I think Openda would not have too many Openda cards. Frimpong, likewise, Adeyemi, Khusanov. So yeah, some decent choices in there. On the whole, I think it's a pretty nice pack. I think the 4 stars are pretty bad, but the 5 stars certainly, I think, there's enough quality in there that the majority of people will find at least 1 or 2 cards that they'll get a decent amount of value from. So there you go. Hopefully you found that useful. As I mentioned at the start, I'm really struggling for time at the minute. Whatever time I do get, I don't really have a great deal of motivation for this game, but I am going to try and review those legends, the national legends, whatever it's called, next. So I'll do my best to get that reviewed as soon as I can. If I do find the time, I will review some of the other packs I've been missing, like the player weeks and stuff. But to be honest, I'm half tempted just to say I'm not going to review more player of the weeks until they give us the selection contracts back, because it's just so pointless, the fact that we all play our games, get our free spin and get someone rubbish and then just leave it. It just feels like player of the week isn't really that exciting for that many people anymore. But I will try to get back onto that. I will try to get back onto, I know there's a couple of league packs I've not reviewed yet still, and like I say, the priority for me is going to be the legends, the national team legends, and that's what most people are interested in at the moment. So I will try and get some more videos out soon. I will do my best to have a stream or two soon, whether it's this or Football Manager. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you for that soon. Jump in the Discord if you're not already there, and thank you again for watching. Do appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Take it easy.